What is up, everyone? This is Omegabalmung here with another comic book pickups of the week. This week, like I said, I kind of cut down a little bit, hopefully. But I'm doing this from the webcam because I forgot to charge my camera, and I don't really want to wait like 2 or 3 hours for it to charge. So I'm just going to do this off of my webcam, so hopefully everything looks good in the back here. Hopefully. But anyways, let's get started here. As of course, I'm always going to go with the new comic books that came out on Wednesday. Today is Thursday, so like I said, I've gone through all the books and I read through all of them, so I can't really give a good description of them. So like I said, if that 3 hours or 4 hours I had to wait for my camera to charge, I might have lost it by now, but hopefully not. But anyways, like I said, webcam. And let's just get started here. So, first off is Original Sin from Marvel Comics. This is issue 3 with its variant cover. Let's turn this thing off here. Like I said, it's for me, I think it's getting better and better. In this book, you see, if you remember what happened from last book, where I don't remember what his name was. The guy with the eye, the big giant eye, he has the Watcher's eye, so he sends it out. And in this book, you see that what that does is it shows everybody kind of the secrets inside of the person, not inside, but the secrets of the person, things they never known might come out, like Thor. There's one scene where he's like. There's one scene where he's like, "Oh, I have a sister," and then anyways, it kind of goes off in that area effect, and everybody who's in that area kind of knows, kind of learns these secrets. So, anyways, they capture him. Shield captures him and kind of sets him off to the side, and they have Wolverine and Hulk, of course. Why Hulk? I don't know why, but they have Wolverine and Hulk kind of being the good cop, bad cop, I guess, or as Wolverine called it, the stabby cop and the smash cop. So, and then you get a little bit scene with I think Ant-Man, Black Panther, and who was the other person? Magic, I think that's what her name was. And then they're looking through, and they find these bullets, this gamma ray bullets, and they're like, "Oh, what kind of bullets are these?" And then you also have another scene with Winter Soldier, Gamora. I don't remember what's the name. From the galaxy, Schneiser. What is their name again? Oh, whatever. And then Moon Knight, and then they're off to a planet that they found a bunch of like gunshot holes. But at the end, it was pretty cool. So I won't spoil that for you guys. It has a pretty cool ending, and now I'm really hooked on to you see what's going to happen in issue 4. Which is, I think there's only going to be 5 of them, so it's coming to an end, and we find out who the killer is. So that's pretty cool. Loving it now. Like I said before, it was kind of slow starting. I can't say much about the other company's book, but this one is so far has gotten better. So 4 out of 5. I love it. Next up will be Rye issue 2. And we learn a little bit more about Rye, I guess, and who the killer is, or not killer, but why they have to murder this lady who has been, like I said, Neotopia, Japan. There hasn't been a death in like 100 years. They go through like a bunch of little things, like pretty cool stuff. Like if you wanted to die, that's your choice. But you can live on as long as you want to. I mean, that's really what it is now. They could like replace limbs, replace organs and stuff like that, and make you live pretty much forever. So, anyways, 100 years and there hasn't been a death, and now we have one. The father sent Rye down there to investigate what is going on, and you kind of figure out who they get these. He goes through the database and he looks and he doesn't find anybody. The lady doesn't have really like an identity at all, and so they have to go to like a secret database that keeps all the records, kind of like a library and all that stuff. So we see some cool action in here. Like I said, the drawings are pretty cool. I think this is Clayton Crane I was talking to the guy, one of the employees at the comic book store, and he was like, "Yeah, Clayton Crane does some really good artwork." And he showed me one from one of the Carnage, and he's done, like I said, a few of the Venom stuff. So I'm gonna look up into seeing, well, how it is. Like I said, the drawings in here are awesome as heck. That's all I can say. Storyline so far still a little spotty. I still really want to know what the heck Rye is. All I know is he's a kind of like an agent who kind of just follows orders and is freaking strong as heck. So, and then at the end of this book, issue 2 here, you actually see something happen. So, it's pretty cool. I'm giving it probably a 2.5 out of 5. I still really don't know what the heck is going on. The scenes and everything looks cool. The backdrop for the story sounds pretty cool. Then Japan and all that, like stuff like that. So like I said, I would like to see a little bit more, and hopefully we get to see more in issue 3. So like I said, this is Rye from Valiant issue 2 by Matt Kindent and drawn by Clayton Crane. So next up is like I said, from DC Comics, New 52 Futures End issue 5. So in this one, you just have split stories. As I've gone through a lot of the Futures End issues, they're kind of just split stories that are told from different characters, different characters. And they kind of go throughout a whole bunch of different characters. I had never seen a few of these. So you have Firestorm finally decided to split himself. So now they're back to normal, and then he's like, "Oh, I don't want to do this anymore." You have a few other characters that, like I said, the only problem I have with this book is they have too many characters. It's okay to have a lot of characters and one scene, but the fact that they're split up into like 4 or 5 different characters in the book, and then the book before had 4 or 5 different characters. I'm guessing they're trying to kind of tell this big story to end up into one. Hopefully, Futures End kind of comes into one and then follows from that route. That's what I'm guessing it's going to be. But at the same time, it's kind of tough to kind of grasp what is going on, at least for me. But I can't really, like I said, I don't know much about this book anymore. Hopefully it does get better. Like I said, hopefully that grand scheme that they have, and they're kind of, I like Original Sin, where it is different from different characters, but at the same time they'll just keep it at those groups, and then they kind of tell it from there. But that's only a 5 story book, so Futures End, I haven't read how long it's going to be. Hopefully it is longer, and we get to find out, a more, this right now, this is discombobulated a bit, all the story and stuff like that. So 2 out of 5. Not too great for me. But like I said, hopefully it does get a little bit better. Hopefully everything kind of rounds out into one storyline, and we see what, why Terry is there. And we didn't even get to see a Terry McGinnis or Batman Beyond scene in here, so that's what made me a little bit pissed. But anyways, that's Futures End issue 5. Next up is Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man. If you remember, this is issue 2 actually. If you remember from the first issue, you have at the end of that one, if you haven't read it yet, this is going to be a spoiler, so you might want to skip like a few seconds, 10 seconds ahead or something like that. Anyways, starting now. At the end of this issue 1, Peter Parker comes back and he's like, "Oh, hey, yo, how you doing, Miles?" And in this one, you kind of just look through and you get a scene where Peter wants his web shooters back, and then and then they have a fight scene, and Miles is like, "Oh, is this a clone? Is this is this the real Peter Parker? Is this a clone?" Blah 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 blah. So that's pretty much that's it in this book. You get the scene with the 2 look-alike of Spider-Man, I guess, and they're still robbing whatever they're trying to get. So this is a pretty quick book, not too long of a read. Give you a little bit more story, and that's all. So I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5. Hopefully it gets better and see. Like I would say, I really want to see why he's back. Next up is Batman Eternal issue 9. And in this issue, we find out that Falcone is actually has a person in. Oh, of course, he probably does. Always has a person. He has a person that's inside his is the commissioner. So at first, he's like, oh, we have some troubles and whatnot. And then the commissioner says, oh yeah, we're trying to get Batman. And he's like, no, we don't. Batman doesn't steal from us. He takes us out. So they're like, well, then who is it? Catwoman. So anyways, that scene is a quick scene, and you get that scene at the end too, so you get a little bit of that at the end. But anyways, on this one, Batman goes to, I think, China, and you see this guy here. I guess is another Batman, part of the Batman family, I guess. I don't know, maybe I heard it said something about Batman Incorporated or something like that, so maybe I have to go read those books and see who it is. But I don't know who this guy is. He's like the Batman in Asia, I guess. Where that part? He says Japan, but yeah, like I said, it's pretty much that. And he talks to he tries to figure out why and this Hong Kong triad and Falcone are going against each other, and why are they, why have they stopped? So, pretty cool book, pretty cool read, pretty cool action scenes in here, and then you also find something that was pretty funny. So, I won't spoil that, but anyways, Batman Eternal, like I said, is always a really good book, really good read. This one is, like I said, another good read again. Like, I really want to know who this guy is. So I might have to go look it up, but pretty cool read. 4 out of 5. Batman Eternal is always, it's getting better and better every issue. Next up is from Aspen. This one is a newer book, I guess. I guess we've seen this book a few times. I looked it up on my comic, or just issues for it. This is like a, I don't know what you want to call it. Anyways, this is Journey. And this one is from, like I said, from Aspen. This is issue 1. This one is about a princess named Ara whose mother has been taken away. Now she's on a journey to find her mother, and this is from at least this issue is from like I said, it's somebody's like telling like a story kind of how she met her and what she like what journey she's on and stuff like that. So I seen a pretty cool scene where she takes over this little saber-toothed tiger looking cat in the back here, and then she kind of gets on a pirate ship and just rocks house. So and anyway, this is a quick read, not much to go on. The drawings in here are freaking awesome. That's what I said. Whatever you see here in the cover, that is a drawing. So, freaking awesome. That's what I say. We have a lot of these covers who, like if they're not the variant, I can see, but they're the covers. The books doesn't really look like that, but so far, the book actually looks like this, which is freaking awesome. So this one, I'll probably give it a 3 out of 5. It was a pretty good read, pretty cool action scenes, bloody, a little bloody, but that's okay. Next up is, of course, I had to go with this Action Comics 32. This one's actually it's a pretty cool variant cover here. This is like the last one I picked up. This is like the last book they had at the comic book store. Mostly in this variant cover, and I was lucky. Like, if I was like a few minutes late, I probably wouldn't be able to get this one. But I was just like, I picked it up and I went to the back issues stuff category, or back issue boxes, and I was looking through, and they're like, oh, there's like 4 or 5 people that came in, like, do you have this cover? Do you have this book? At least in this book, and they're like, no, we ran out of it. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, Action Comics 32, it follows up from, Superman issue 31. Now Superman is out, and he is declared enemy of the state. But you have people that are trying to help him, people that are trying to stop him. All these things are put together. But so far, he is the enemy of the state. He is the main bad guy, and you see Steel in here, a cameo or Steel, and he comes in, he tries to help out Superman, and then you see Lex and them with their grand scheme of how to stop Superman. So at the end, you see what happens, and then something happens, and now it's probably gone worse. So, but anyways, pretty cool read. This stuff, like I said, the Superman Doomsday stuff is freaking awesome. So I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. I love it, and like I say, it keeps going and keeps going. Hopefully it does have a good ending, but I'm pretty sure it does. But like I said, I just enjoy reading the Superman Doom category. And one little thing is, it's pretty cool how I never mentioned this, but in the beginning, in the first page, there's always like a little from the Daily Planet, a little article by Lois Lane about what has been happening before and stuff like that. So it's like pretty cool, like just a little bit of read before you get into the book if you haven't read anything else. So that's what's cool about it. You don't see much comics doing that anymore. Next up, we're almost done. I only have a few more left. Next up is issue by Dynamite, issue 1 of Vampira. This is a variant cover too. I probably should have grabbed the regular one. I kind of like the regular one, which is by Adam Hughes, I think so. But not Adam Hughes. What's their name? Oh, I forgot what their name was. I think either Adam Hughes or the ones that done a few of the Wonder Woman covers. I forgot what their names was. But anyways, this one, Vampira has been sent out to. I don't know much about Vampira. I only seen her at at books like this and like cosplay and stuff like that. So I have no knowledge of Vampira. So in this one, you see Vampira kind of just gets called upon to kind of investigate this kidnapping, and they find out that the dad that kidnapped her daughter was also a cultist, and he's been pretty much possessed now by a person that Vampira knows. And but to set up this scene, things happen in here, and like I said, it becomes a trap for her, and now she's kind of in a bad place. So anyways, pretty cool read. Like I said, this is issue 1, of course. Issue 1 to me always feels like it's kind of trying to tell you something, but at the same time they're trying to draw it out a little bit more. So like I said, hopefully issue 2 gets a little better. I want to actually see what happens in issue 2, because it kind of ends off at the end. They're like, oh, we should have probably never done this, thrown her into to do this, and we probably just left her alone and do stuff like that. So pretty cool stuff. So this one I'll probably give a 3 out of 5. Next up is from another Dynamite book. Like I said, I only had a few DC books, I think so. I had like 2, yeah, 3, I guess, and like two or 3 Marvel books. A lot of these are from like the Dynamite variant and stuff like this. So next one's from Dynamite, another issue 1. I might say the name wrong. It's called the Jasendin Files. So in this one, like I said, I'm not really good with names. This one we have a little backstory of who these people are. If you see, they all have weapons and stuff like that, and you can see he's a mage. This is the main character here, and the other people have like magic guns and other stuff like that. So they are like protectors of pretty much anything bad. So like any kind of like vampires, werewolves, whatever you want to name it, they protect people from. But anyways, this one they're fighting against their group are fighting against like this war against the vampires, and they're pretty much losing. And and they sent out this team here, who I guess he's kind of like the wild card. The main character is kind of like the wild card in the group in that group. So he's like the person nobody wants to send out, but they have to because they're running low on of resources. They don't have much people left, so they're like, oh yeah, we'll just send him out there. So he goes out and investigates this house, who somehow vampires are attacking. They have people in there that are shooting them, are helping them out. So we find out, like, we don't really find out anything. We just go in there and it kind of just stops there. And we find out, like, he's like, oh yeah, why are we in here? And, why is the vampires attacking this place? So there has to be something going, something inside the house that, they need to find out, and it must be something important. So, and it's pretty cool stuff. You have mages, like he's a mage, and he's sending out magic and stuff. The other characters are mages too, but they're more hand to hand combat, or not hand to hand, but like more sword. And this guy here uses a sword and a pistol, and it's pretty cool stuff. So, like I said, I kind of want to see what's going to happen in the next issue. Hopefully, we figure out what the house is meant for. Like I said, it's pretty cool read, pretty cool premise, and it's kind of weird because it's like they're like look like they're back in the olden days, but they're actually in the present. They have cars, they have cities and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird. But anyways, like I said, the Jascending Files issue 1 by Dynamite. And last is, of course, I had to keep going with this book here. Iron Fist. What is it? The Living Weapon. I don't know why they knocked that up, but we learn a little bit more about the main character, of what he's done. This is issue 2, I should say. Issue 3. We learn a little bit more of his training in I forgot the sacred place, I guess. And with the trials he went through to become Iron Fist, and you see, he actually, if you remember in part issue 2, he gets back to this place where he trained, and it's all in ruins, and he's kind of asking questions like what's going on and stuff like that, and we find out that like I said, we look through a little bit of his trials as a kid, and then what's happening. So this is a pretty quick read, not too much of it. It's more of a story than action. You see him kind of rebel against the place, and at the end he meets up with somebody. So pretty cool read. This one is a little bit not that great, as like I said. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more of action, a little bit more of the fighting. I didn't even get just sending a number or a grade. I'd probably give it 3 out of 5. This one will probably be a 3 out of 5 too. It's okay read. Hopefully we get a little bit more look into him as a fighter. We haven't seen much of it, and we get a look at the little girl that was in the issue 1 that was hospitalized. So, anyways, that is Iron Fist, The Living Weapon, issue 3, and that's it for the new books. Quite a little bit. I think I'm about 10 books or something like that. It's getting smaller and smaller. I had an urge to buy more. I was like, oh, should I keep going? But I kept like, oh, okay, I gotta put it back. But anyways, these are back issues, of course. I start out with Batman Legends of the Dark Knight issue, what's this, 120? This one's Cassandra Cain is another appearance in there. That's who I was looking for. If you remember, I don't remember her name from the last issue. That's what it is. That's her name, Cassandra Cain, which is the Bat Girl without the face or any, just her whole face is covered. Next up would be 52, which is issue I think 7, which is the first appearance of Batwoman. It's the new 52 Batwoman. I forgot what her name is. But that's the first appearance of her. Teen Titans issue 37. We got I think I already got this one. It's another pickup, I guess. DC Universe Online Legends issue 4. Next up is there's quite a few here. Batwoman issue 11, and I got all these Batwoman issues for like $4. So I mean, they were pretty cheap. Issue 12, issue 13, issue 14, issue 15, 16, and 17, which is a freaking awesome cover. That's all I'm saying. But like I said, they're like $4, and I was like, oh, I can't pass up on that. And there's like a whole bunch of them, so I had to do it. Next up is Power Girl issue 6. And I'm trying to collect all the Power Girl issues, or at least the ones from the newer ones. So these are not New 52, but whatever. Earth 2 issue 6. And the Cowl, or just called Cowl, issue 1. This is actually a comic book from last week, which is pretty cool. Like I said, it's kind of weird. They're like heroes who are hired. Heroes for hire, I guess. They're kind of just been sent out there because, you know, something happens in the beginning. They kind of like almost like what Civil War was for the Marvel universe. You know, people are these heroes that are left are kind of just, you know, I want to say they kind of just I want to say they're like they're a small crew now, and they're, like I said, they're just pretty much sent out there to they have one person who was a leader back then. He kind of just sends people out, you know, these heroes out there to go check up on, you know, on these like kind of just crimes that go around, you know, that world. And that's pretty much the concept of it. They're like from the government, so hopefully we get a little bit more of that. There's a lot of backstory in this one. So anyways, that is it for the comic book pickups of the week. Like I said, quite a bit from back issues, but I kind of stopped a little bit smaller on on the newer issues. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video here. Like I always do at the end, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you guys like any of my videos. Go ahead and check out my other videos and hit the like button if you guys like them. Go ahead and add me on PlayStation Network. My PSN ID is Omegabalmung. I have that in the description. Like I said, I always play DC Universe online. I'm always on there. So if you guys play DC Universe, DCUO, go ahead and come chat with me. You know, join an alert with me, raids, whatever you guys want. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see everybody next week for some more comic book pickups of the week.